Good evening. This is David. Let me try to adjust real quickly and we can continue. Make sure we have a decent background and I think we're good. Okay. So this is exciting because this is the first, although my channel is relatively new, this is the first venture into a new chapter of the channel. And my channel is all about spirituality and spiritual growth and development. And real excited for this new chapter, which is chapter 3, understanding the importance of the frequency you hold, basically consciousness. So I have been working in the first chapter of the story, which is helping those in 3D understand the real world, which is basically kind of the red pill idea of understanding how the real world works. And sometimes it's very difficult content because there's a lot of very, very challenging subjects that, this is August 2020, very challenging subjects that we're dealing with and will be dealing with in the future. So at any rate, tonight's topic is the root energy center, because as we're looking at spiritual growth in a sense, it's very important to look at your energy centers, also called chakras in the East. A lot of people here in America, and I guess maybe in England, have adopted the term chakra. But to me, it's a little bit confusing. It belongs, it's fine, whatever you want to use, but I prefer energy center because that's what it is our energy centers of the body, things that we're not taught in school. So we have really no knowledge of, unless you know somebody in yoga or in the spiritual community. But it roots on the concept of life force energy. Star Wars talks about life force energy, which is not surprising because Star Wars has a connection in the understanding and the research to do that series back on the Eastern traditions. So yeah, my channel is really devoted to health and wellness and spiritual growth. And so what ended up happening was, I had this burning passion to do this for a while now. And so I just decided to go ahead and do it. I asked Spirit, I'm a spiritual person and more intuitive than I used to be. And so I asked Spirit what the topic should be. And I got a range of different ideas. And so this will have different chapters to the story. But this one, so like I said, I had been focused on helping those in 3D to understand the real world. Tonight is, we're going to dive into getting, well, let's see, what was it? Understanding the importance of the frequency you hold. That was what I was told. Understanding the importance of the frequency that you hold. The frequency that we as human beings hold is something important that, like I said, roots on the energy centers. Most people don't know. By the end of this, at least you'll know the first one. So I like to keep the videos around a half hour, so we shouldn't go longer than that. And also, I got some guidance, which I'm going to start in this series to start all of the podcasts. And so if it works tonight, maybe we'll do it every night. But start by breathing. So I'd like to invite you to, get calm, get relaxed, and start by closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. Movement as well, whatever comes natural to you. And I invite you to join me in this beautiful space that I inhabit. You belong here with me. I invite you to open your soul to receive this information. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to go over, basically, before I really dive into the root energy center of the body, is what life force energy is, and what the energy centers in the body are generally. So I've gotten these messages from Spirit. This is maybe more personal to me, but this is a message I got one day. You see how when you have a reality in which introspection is circumvented, life gets derailed quite easily. When you have a reality in which introspection, your ability to go inside of yourself, to pause, to have silence, to have stillness, when it is circumvented, when you cannot do that, go inside, life gets derailed quite easily. Your task is to help provide that vital life force energy so others can benefit from its teaching. So our goal is to allow the energy centers to flow, and that's life force energy. And I know a real good kids cartoon, Airbender, that goes into the chakras in a real easy framework. So it's only like 10-15 minutes. So I will try to link to that. It is truly mind-boggling in terms of its power. You will see that once you begin to spread this awareness out into the collective consciousness. So that's the goal here, is to spread this awareness and let it be mind-boggling in its power for humanity. And it's not just me, it's a lot of spiritual people doing this and helping others to light their candle flame of consciousness. Okay, so with that understanding of what life force energy is, the force as it's known in Star Wars, the force that all creation uses, let's dive into the energy centers themselves and how to bring that energy into our bodies and our lives. Okay, this is the message I've got on energy centers to share. Plausibly, you will see that energy centers enable the body to be portals to another realm, an awakened spirit light that comes from the divine creator God consciousness. I'm going to read that again. You will see energy centers enable the body to be portals to another realm, an awakened spirit light that comes from the divine creator God consciousness. This energy is coming, it's the doorway. And this root center that we'll talk about tonight is the door, the gateway of that of divine energy from God directly into us. You see in that way what occurs charts your freedom in simplistic, growth-oriented ways on the 3D earth plane. What occurs charts your freedom in simplistic, growth-oriented ways on the 3D earth plane, meaning that there's 7 energy centers in the body, in our physical body, and each one of those deals with certain issues. And as we work on those issues throughout our lives, it helps us to grow and develop spiritually. In other words, you can see how fruitful it would be to know that once you have cemented your consciousness into the recovery and development of an energy center so fervently that you have a burning passion to accomplish it, It will bring a freedom and a joy to your life that is truly all-encompassing. I want to read that one more time. This is so powerful. In other words, you can see how fruitful it would be if you knew that once you have cemented your consciousness into the recovery and development of an energy center so fervently that you have a burning passion to accomplish it, it will bring a freedom and a joy to your life that is truly all-encompassing. And so what that means is the first energy center we'll be talking about tonight is a root center, the first one, and it relates to fear and fearlessness. And each center, as I mentioned, has different topics, different things that we work on in our spiritual journey here on earth. And as we do that and we grow, things that have been burdens to us, where we've been a prisoner to our whole lives, can drop off, can get cleaned by working on these energy centers. That's the freedom it's talking about. And I've discovered that firsthand. Okay, so now I'm going to read a message of the root energy center in the body. By the way, I love my bear coffee mug. The bear is a great symbol of the root energy center because the bear is fearless. The color of the first energy center is red. The element is the earth. It's being rooted in, or you'll hear being grounded in the planet, in Mother Earth. Okay, I'm going to read this. You can see now clearly how the root energy center has a grounding effect in your life through the elimination of fear. You can clearly see this robust center take full effect, bringing up vital life force energy from the cosmos into your now connected consciousness. What this will do is provide an uplift for you to attract that which you want in life. So, I'll read it again. The root center has a grounding effect in your life through the elimination of fear. You can clearly see this robust center take full effect, bringing up vital life force energy into your now connected consciousness. What this will do is provide an uplift for you to attract that which you want in life. This is really your grounding center. It's related to security. It's related to you feeling grounded, feeling like your power is not going to get cut off and you'll have food on your table. There was a time when I was in North Carolina a couple of years ago. I had to eat humble pie. I'd always, I have a master's degree. I've worked for city government and climbed up the ladder of career status to where I felt pretty good about myself. But then in North Carolina, I ate humble pie, lost my job in a rural area, and I had to work my butt off. Anyway, I didn't know about the energy centers back then, but it really affected me. And I remember one night going over to visit my brother, and I just knew that he knew that I was a different man because I still had the fear factor going on, and I was just afraid of being able to survive. I was hoping to get back to Texas and that, we'd be able to find a place. And that was just my mentality. It was so limited. But that's kind of where I was. And that's what a lot of people struggle with day to day. We are meant to do that. We are meant to struggle by the dark, old power structures of this planet that try to hold us down, try to keep us in fear. Well, we've got coronavirus right now. So it's absolute perfect time to be talking about the fear center, the root center of the body. Anyway, grounding energy of nature is very powerful with this, though. Okay. Imagine the plane on the runway. That initial thrust of energy that enables liftoff of the plane is a good representation of the root center in the body. So collectively and individually, grounding and balancing protocols should take place on your planet. Look for your traditional societies for more information and advice on this. In short, time with nature is very important and almost intuitively simple in that sense. Your disconnection from the manufactured world is as critical as many on your planet are imbued with its artificial energy, which prevents this grounding from ever taking root. So I'm going to go one more time on that. Imagine the plane on the runway, that initial thrust of energy that enables liftoff. That's a good representation of the root center in the body. You know, and if you can't ever take off the runway, the plane's never going to go anywhere. Same thing with the first energy center. If you're stuck in fear, you're never going to have any energy coming up. You're never going to be able to develop the other energy centers. So grounding and balancing protocols should take place. Look for traditional societies for more information and advice. In short, time with nature is very important and almost intuitively simple. I wish I had better guidance on that, but look for nature meditations, nature walks, any time with nature, grounding exercises, things like that. And if I do find some good content on that, I'll link. Time with nature is very important, almost intuitively simple in that sense. Your disconnection from the manufactured world is as critical as many on your planet are imbued with its artificial energy, which prevents grounding from ever taking root. Wow. I didn't realize that until just now, but technology really hammers this energy center, hammers it. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the fear porn that gets pushed by the media technology. Okay, and I also have another passage. Collectively, a population that is largely rooted in their first center will not suffer widespread panacea, such as wars or famine. They are didactically opposed from these insertion agents, which have prevented much of this critical alignment from taking place. So the wars, and if we had been rooted in our first energy center, we will not suffer the wars and famine and so forth like that. They're didactically opposed. They prevented the alignment. Many in that way are right to call this the most important energy center in the body because it is the first one. There is more constant suffering and misery on your planet due to the disconnection from this center than anything else that exists in your reality. And beginning that journey as a collective is a wonderful next step for your planetary awakening. Wow. So the first energy center is the root center that connects us to nature. The grounding influence allows that to happen. When we're in nature, when we have time, quiet time, we're able to connect onto the Earth's frequency. And we're able to find that stillness inside, that still small voice. And you don't have any fear at that point. You have something called faith. The technology, come to think of it, if nobody had televisions nobody had internet over the past, if nobody had newspapers even, over the past 6 months during the time of the coronavirus pandemic. I wonder if anyone on this planet would even know that there was a pandemic. I mean, sure, there's been a few deaths, but I just look at the damage that's been done, the physical damage that has been done to people's bodies, and it's very, very sad. It's very sad for this planet. And it doesn't have to be that way. We don't need to fear. Even if you had the virus, you don't need to fear. I mean, even if you're dying, I mean, the people that, have near-death experiences, they are the least afraid of death. They've already seen the other side. They know how beautiful it is, and they know that this is all but a dream. I've gotten a lot of intuitive guidance that our angels want us to live footloose and fancy-free. They want us to be powerful beings, to enjoy this life, to take hold, take life by the horns, and that's how we should live. So, that's not always how I've lived. I've had to overcome a lot with this energy center. Okay, so the location of the energy center, by the way, is in the groin region, below the belly button, and for men and women, and it's associated with certain pains or chronic conditions that you might have. There can also be entity attachments that are there, that are spirits that are lodged in your body. These can be removed through energy center work. You can work with practitioners, or there's so much guidance on YouTube these days. It's easy to find information, and so you should be able to find all the guidance that you want to work on your energy center. Now, as I mentioned, that part of my body, one of the teachers, Brad Johnson, has gone into this idea of the counterclockwise spirals and the imagining of the color red within your body. So as you go and imagine a counterclockwise spiral of energy, maybe emanating about 6 or 8 inches or a foot away from your body, circling around that energy center in your body. That has been really helpful for me. I've used it, and I've been working on all of my energy centers, but the root center, that is very important. And I'll say, I've been working on these energy centers for about a year now, and I really have, when you put it up, it was in the reading, but when you put it out there that you work on it with a burning passion, and you accomplish it, and you see the growth, you can feel the growth, and you can be in a situation, this is for chakras in general, you could be in a situation where it's like, whoa, I have, like, the third energy center is confidence. So, I have this newfound confidence in this. When I used to meet people with suits and ties on, or that kind of thing, that it seemed like they were to intimidate me, but that doesn't happen anymore. That's just one example. And how that would look in your root center is just so vital, so critical. As it said, it's the most important energy center because it's the first one. It is the energy center gateway by which all life force energy flows into us, that allows spiritual growth and development on this planet, and is probably single-handedly the suppression of that energy center unknowingly by us. We didn't know. And I can tell you that because millions and millions of people just got sucked right into the coronavirus fear porn that is put out by CNN, MSNBC, all of them. And even like I said, even if there's information that can be put out, you can receive the information, but it does not need to be bombarding your consciousness on a daily basis, because what we perceive, we create. Perception dictates our reality. And so if you're perceiving a world of fear and misery, then that's actually what you're creating. You're constantly looking around, with your limited perception, you're looking around for reinforcement of that. So you're looking for things that happen in your world that are fear-inducing, and focusing, and almost, I can tell you, almost just being sucked into that. And it's really you're doing yourself a disservice. This can be a battle. Listen, guys, I know if you really have, especially if you're older and you've dealt your whole life, or maybe you've been abused and you've been into some really, really bad situations. Find a teacher. If you're a female, maybe you want to find a female instructor. And a lot of it is not, I use energy center terminology, but you'll find a lot using chakra terminology and guides on YouTube, things like that. There are certain foods you can eat that are supposedly helpful, and I probably very true to that. Having the color red is important too. To me, having the image of the bear is important. Now, to that degree, one of the things I like to offer, I do t-shirt designs, and I'll have a link here in the actual subheading, is our Energy Center Roots shirts, which are available. It's the Fearless shirt, and it's got the bear on it, which is pretty powerful symbol. So when you wear a red shirt and it's got a bear on it and it says Fearless, I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm just trying to put one and one together to equal two. And you're going to walk out into society and say, I'm a fearless bear. What you got, world? I'm not saying you got to buy our shirts, but that's just an example of how you can put some powerful, fearless energy out there. And listen, you don't have to believe it at first. Even if you're suffering from fear, fake it till you make it. Just imagine, do whatever you can to visualize yourself in a place where, maybe you've got rainwater dripping, you've got a leaky roof. I mean, whatever the situation is, and you're literally worried about being able to not getting a light bill cut off. Do whatever you can to challenge yourself. And the last thing I'll say before we wrap up, I've heard it so many times that I know it's true. People say it. Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid said, it's okay to, well, what did he say? He actually said, it's not okay to fear. He said, must not lose to fear. And he said, he was afraid, the Karate Kid, but he said, you just cannot, you can be afraid, but you just can't lose to it. Don't give up. In other words, keep fighting. This human experience is a beautiful one. So enjoy every second of it, and you will have more success and abundance than you can ever dream of. Okay, until next time, guys. Love you all. Have a great night.